I'm going to do an editorial look today because I put some new work on my Facebook page last week and this particular look got a lot of love. It's sort of a hybrid look. I don't know how to describe it really. It's sort of like the 60s mixed with the French 18th century, kind of a Marie Antoinette vibe and sort of a modern take on both of those. So it's got the blush and the heart-shaped beauty spot, which is a little bit 18th century inspired, and then the 60s eyes and lips. So it's quite a dramatic look, so take from it what you will. I mean, you can adapt it, you can suit yourself. I think it's a good one though, because it does show that eyeliner can be, anyone can wear really dramatic eyeliner, whether you've got a hooded eye or a more mature eyelid, whatever your eye shape. It's all about confidence really and adapting it to suit yourself. But I'm going to put lots of tips in about how to actually achieve the effect. And have a beautiful model today. Her name is Charlie. So I hope you like the look. So I'm going to start by using the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. And this is for more of an oily skin. And it helps with any breakout. So I'm going to use it just onto Charlie's T-zone here to keep that area matte. And it's kind of a skincare-y type product as well, so it's going to help to clear any blocked pores. So for foundation, I'm going to use Perfection Lumiére Velvet, which is the new foundation from Chanel. This is great because it has good coverage, but also feels very light. And if you have a couple of blemishes or your skin is more normal to oily, it's really good for sort of smoothing out. It gives really good light coverage but evens out the skin very well. So you can sort of feel it almost turning to powder under your fingers. So I'm just going to go over and just finally buff that foundation in, but it's sort of set now and it's got that lovely velvety dry touch to it. This is shade number 30. So because that's pretty good coverage, that foundation, I don't really need any extra concealer, but obviously if you do, just go ahead. I'm going to use the same foundation as concealer under the eyes because it's really nice and light, but it lifts shadows and there's no need to powder to set it, which is great. So I'm just using Nars Pro Prime as an eyelid primer, and I really like this product. I think it really works. Just great for keeping your eyeliner in place and stopping any creasing. Then on top of that, I'm just going to do a light wash of a shimmery eyeshadow, just to add a little bit of shimmer to the lids without being too much. For liner, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Gel Liner in black. So the main thing is you need to be looking straight ahead into the mirror when you're doing your eyeliner. And before you do anything, looking straight ahead, you can map out where you want this to end. So looking ahead and you'll be able to see that the shape that you want there, whatever shape of eyelid you have. And then close for me, and then you can start to sort of work towards that, just sort of colouring in really. So you can see you've got that really good shape. And if you open your eyes and you can't see the liner, you just need to come up higher. So that's why the best way is to look straight ahead, make sure you can see what you're going to get, and then you can build up from there. So obviously I'm going to go a little bit thicker simply because the look that I did in the magazine was a little bit thicker and more dramatic. So just close for me, and then you can just build up. So it's better to go thinner at the inner corner. And then just keep going over it to make sure you've got a really good dense colour there, so it looks really, really opaque. To do the other eye, look straight ahead, and while you're looking in the mirror with your eyes open, you can then look at that eye and mark up this side. And again, by doing it with your eyes open, it just means that if you've got hooded eyes, you'll be able to see that it is going to be effective and you're going to be able to see what you've done. So just mark yourself up. And then go ahead and fill in again. Close for me. If your eyes fold particularly more on one eye than the other, you might have to compensate and maybe make the eyeliner a little bit thicker on one eye than the other, so it looks good when your eyes are open. And bear in mind that, of course, no one's eyes are completely identical. That would be weird if they were. So no one's completely symmetrical. So just aim to get a really good effect and don't panic if your eyes look slightly different, because most people's are. Now I'm going to use this pencil, which is the L'Oreal Colour Riche. Just look down for me and just go along. Doesn't feel that great, but it just finishes off the look of the liner. Just look into the lens for me there. And then in the look, I actually went along the lower waterline as well. Look up. And then using the pencil, the brush again. Come back, look up for me. And then take the outer flick and bring it underneath. About halfway along and join those two up. It's a bit less on the brush this time, so it's not quite as intense. So now I'm going to curl eyelashes. Just look down for me, Charlie. Does this feel okay? Mm-hmm. So for mascara, I'm going to use the DHC. Put plenty on. So for brows, I'm going to use this Anastasia one, which is dark brown. And we're just going to put a tiny bit into the brows, but not much. We don't want a heavy brow with this liner. It would all be way, way, way too much. So for the blusher, it's quite important because this is the sort of Marie Antoinette bit. And using theBalm, and this is called Toile, which is a really good name for this look. Sort of peachy pink colour, corally blush. And I'm going to start by going along the cheekbones, coming up onto the cheeks and taking it up onto the temple. And then I'm going to use this colour, which is a really pale pink. It's another one of the balm ones. Look up for me, darling. And then just add that right onto the high point there. And then I'm going to mix both of those blushes together. Close your eyes for me. And I had a little bit of the pink here, a little bit of the blush colour here, in the corner of the eyes, and then a little bit here at the outer edge. Now we can just blend that in with blush brush. So I'm just using this Bobbi brown lip pencil in beige, and because the lips are really pouty in this look, I'm going a fraction over the edge and then blending it well. So for the lip colour, I'm going to use Obey by Illamasqua from one of my palettes, which is a really nice peachy colour, quite sort of chalky matte, late 50s, early 60s, has a real retro feel to it. Now to highlight, I'm going to use Mary-Lou Manizer by theBalm, which is a great colour because it's not too white. Just look that way for me. It's sort of a very soft kind of beigey colour, but you don't need much of it because it's super metallic. But just a touch high onto the cheekbones is great. So to finish off, to do the look exactly as it was in the magazine, there was a little kind of French 18th century heart, like a little patch beauty spot here. Just in the shape of a little heart. And to finish off, I'm just contouring a little bit down sides of nose and into eyebrow using the Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder, just to define a little bit more there. And that is the finished look.